Okay, guys, I want to talk to women about dealing with trauma. Janis Joplin's book was not something that I would have thought, would really benefit me a whole lot. Um, you think of good books and you think, okay, you know, what's true, what's pure, what's good. But you should be educated in some culture. So as I'm reading this, I'm just like, I had a certain perception of her that I think a lot of people in the rock and roll industry have of her. And as I was reading so far, I'm just reading about, her teen years. And this is something that I went through in my teen years. I can very much relate to her in a lot of ways. She was not popular where I was, in many ways popular, but yet in many ways I felt isolated like she did. So she talks about getting picked on. She talks about all the stuff that happened to her. And I'm healing still from post-abortive, trauma. And because I dug in there and I got in there and I dealt with it. So when you're dealing with this continues to affect you. So like I just said, I just had this job with this woman who was really against me at work, and it reminded me of, some stuff with my mother. And so you can almost have amnesia about your childhood. You can, because of a trauma happening in your teen years, you can block a lot that happened around it. So yesterday I went through my list of jobs, and I'm like, okay, so look at the systems that you've had in your jobs. You had your teenage jobs, you had your experimental jobs where you're trying to find yourself. You had, you chose to stay home, turn your life around when you got saved. Those jobs were a little bit different because, some of them were worldly, and it's like, okay, you're not worldly anymore. And there's just a whole bunch of things going on, right, with work. And the surprising thing yesterday is, after healing from, some of this stuff that I saw in Janice's book and mother-daughter relationship a little bit more, which a lot of people don't talk about the mother-daughter relationship in an abortion, because it's not just your abortion, it's your mother's too, right? Because she was part of it. So healing from that a little bit, listening to Brooke Shields with her mother, all these memories were coming back that I had blocked. And I could clearly, before, where I'm like, oh, I can't even remember what year that job was, I had a lot of breakthroughs yesterday with my memory. So this is something that we need to talk about too in the abortion movement, and I'll be talking about this more. Thanks for joining me, ladies.